feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big Three. So
Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever, WNBA News, Caitlin Clark secret deal, Fever locker room, WNBA bombshell, WNBA drama, women's basketball, Caitlin Clark rumors, Caitlin Clark contract, WNBA fans shocked.
How the cachet of the WNBA elevates. Remember, it could have been even better. You messed it up. You messed it.
And by the dumbest people alive, I mean the WNBA, who essentially sent its golden goose, Caitlin Clark, to the EuroLeague on a silver platter. If that isn't the height of inanity, I don't know what is.
from the sounds of this interview, it seems like she's probably going to make more money overseas in EuroLeague than she did during this WNBA season. The commissioner told her that she could make $700,000 playing in the WNBA.
Let's face it, Caitlin is finally free from the constant brutality she had to put up with. The WNBA is probably sitting in a corner wondering, what on earth just happened? Because the game in Europe is almost better than the game in the NBA, so Caitlin Clark just dipped on the WNBA, and let's be honest, can you blame her? The WNBA pretty much fumbled the bag, and now Europe is out here flexing like they just won the lottery, and they did. The European League is practically giving Clark the red carpet, while the WNBA is left wondering how they lost their best player. But hey, that's what happens when you treat your best talent like a rookie off the bench.
Game in Europe is almost better than the game in the
Let's start by talking about money, because the WNBA wasn't paying Clark a whopping $76,000 to $78,000 during her debut season. Meanwhile, Europe is prepared to give her a bag large enough to make a WNBA executive cry. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars more, and guess what? In Europe, they actually pay for their players' housing, transportation, and taxes. Yes, you read correctly. The WNBA couldn't even provide a free bus pass, but Clark lives like a king or queen there.
In the WNBA through marketing this and that. I don't know what Kathy was talking about, because even the highest paid player in the WNBA currently makes a little over $200,000 in salary.
Now that Clark is gone, Kathy Engelbert and the other members of the WNBA Brain Trust are worried about what they will have left without him. Oh, that's right, nothing. This is the same league where Clark attracted millions of fans, increasing viewership by 142%, and now she's gone, and for what only $300,000 over 4 years.
With the WNBA season ending for many teams, there are already so many players heading overseas to play during the off-season. But with all of the drama currently surrounding the WNBA, on top of the low-paying salaries, some of these players are questioning if they'll even
That is absurd in comparison to what the European League is providing. And let's not even discuss Ice Cube's $5 million offer for her to play 10 games. 10 games is more than Clark would have earned over the course of 4 WNBA seasons. To be honest, I would pack my bags too quickly if I were her.
Clark has now broke that glass ceiling, and they should be bowing at her. She's going to create jobs and money.
And let's not pretend it's just the money, but the EuroLeague has something the WNBA couldn't even imagine: an actual season. Meanwhile, the WNBA barely makes it through a few months in the summer, with Europe running from October to April. This gives Clark more time to play, develop, and compete at a high level. And guess what? The competition in Europe is much tougher than the WNBA, which at this point might as well be a pickup game. Europe is sharpening their swords while the WNBA is stuck playing patty cake.
Indiana Fever was turning away games into home games, and so it's kind of sad that through all of that, Caitlin was still advocating for players on the other team to get bonuses, because she saw the kind of money and eyeballs and viewership that all of this was generating.
The WNBA is sitting there, probably in a corner somewhere, trying to figure out how they let their brightest star slip away. Honestly, whatever they did to Clark should be considered a crime against basketball. The WNBA fumbled so hard that it's like they were pleading with Europe to take her, and Europe could not be luckier if they tried. To hell with the WNBA. They're nothing, they're nobody. They lost 50M.
Hell with the WNBA. They're nothing. They're nobody. Nobody's watching.
They lost.
Now that they have Caitlin Clark, the WNBA has a huge void where their sole talented player formerly was. And let's not forget about the endorsements. Clark is going to make a lot of money off the court in addition to earning points on it. When it comes to trademark agreements and sponsorships, Europe is a completely different game. Although the WNBA is over here inquiring as to what went wrong with everything you had, Clark will soon be featured on every billboard from London to Paris. You allow Caitlyn to elude you while she's fucking Clark. Europe simply provided her with what she was due, without even trying.
I understand she hadn't played in the league yet, but at least the popularity and the interest around it.
In contrast to the WNBA, which essentially feels like the same old song and dance every game, the EuroLeague is a genuine battle with top-tier players competing against each other, not just American players. Talent from superpowers like France, Spain, Turkey, and Russia, the WNBA couldn't after that. You have Turkey, where the game is slick, fast-paced, and all about those quick plays. Forget the WNBA's plotting, where Clark will face a team that plays tough, gritty basketball. In Russia, it's all about brute force, so she's going to have to toughen up and start bodying people. I can't wait to watch her handle that. Tempo Clark is going to enter a masterclass for basketball.
That sounds like a dream. Traveling around Europe, playing basketball.
Like we went to Paris played in Paris for the EuroLeague Champions.
And here's the thing. The EuroLeague is all about cooperation, accuracy, and real tactics. Clark will need to adjust to the kind of basketball that matters in a league where players don't just wait for one star to dominate the game. Considering what she's about to go through in Europe, the WNBA might as well be a pickup game right now.
There could be a world where more of these private-owned EuroLeague teams, I could see some of these teams going after some of our star players in the WNBA. And if the money makes sense, if the business aspect makes sense, we could lose more players to playing overseas.
Not to mention the history of the EuroLeague, which dates back to 1958, before the WNBA ever existed. Legends like Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart flourished there, and Clark is set to carry on that tradition. But she will do it better. The WNBA can only observe from the sidelines as Clark ascends to basketball royalty and speculates about what could have been.
Don't always share all of the good things that they're doing, and Caitlyn by no means had to do that.
As well as the supporters they're humming. With the opportunity to witness Caitlyn Clark light up their courts, European basketball fans, some of the most ardent and devoted fans in the world, are already drawing comparisons to Kobe Bryant's illustrious European tours, and with good reason. This is a significant moment for European basketball fans in Russia, Turkey, and Spain. These fans already fill venues for the game, and now that they have a superstar like Clark to cheer for, the excitement is going to reach a whole new level. Meanwhile, WNBA fans in the US are left wondering what would happen without Clark, and they have nothing to look forward to.
Because Russia paid Diana Taurasi at that time $1.5 million salary to play in Russia. Now, at the time in the WNBA, the salary, like the highest salary in the league, was $107,000.
In relation to the WNBA, let's discuss the impending decline in viewership. When you consider that the WNBA as a whole was only drawing 394,000 viewers per game, Clark more than tripled that amount. However, now that she is gone, no one is tuning in for anyone else. They were there for Clark and, without her good fortune, keeping people interested. Clark alone brought in more viewers than the league has seen in years.
She was getting all of that, yet all of these eyeballs were coming to the league because of her. The Indiana Fever was turning away games into home.
The evidence was already there. When Clark was not playing in the playoffs, the first game between the Aces and the Liberty drew only 929,000 viewers, compared to over 1 million when she was. The WNBA will feel the full impact of her absence, and they deserve every bit of it for allowing her to slip away.
Okay, they have the highest audience they've seen in 24 seasons in the WNBA games. Televised games with Caitlyn Clark's Indiana Fever averaged 1.18 million viewers compared to 394,000 for all other games. There were a record 22 games that averaged over 1 million views.
The WNBA has had its chance, but they really blew it. They put Clark in the same box as everyone else, slapped a tiny paycheck in her hand, and expected her to stay. She's a superstar, not just a role player they can toss around, and now that Europe has her, they're not letting go. Clark was the league's lifeline, and now she's taking her talents and the fans that came with them over to Europe. The EuroLeague already had a strong fan base, but now that's just the beginning. The European basketball scene is about to blow up, and Clark will be right at the center of it all. Enjoy your empty seats and depressing ratings, WNBA. Perhaps you will know how to handle a talent like Clark the next time, but wait, there won't be another one because she is Europe's treasure. The WNBA may continue to weep over it, while the EuroLeague can watch Clark smash records and score buckets. Well done, WNBA. You truly outdid yourself this time.